Imagine standing up to the most powerful empire of the 19th century. Not for a week, not for a year, but for nearly 2 decades. That's exactly what one man did. Samori Touré, the West African emperor who became a thorn in the side of French colonial ambitions. Today, we're diving into the epic story of the Napoleon of Africa. A story of resistance, strategy, and one man's unyielding fight for his people's freedom. Samori Touré was born in 1830 in what's now Guinea, into a world of kingdoms, trade, and shifting alliances. His family were Dayula, a Muslim merchant class, and young Samory grew up surrounded by trade routes, Islam, and stories of great warriors. But life wasn't all peaceful trade. When Samory was in his early 20s, his mother was captured by a rival clan. Samory didn't just rescue his mother. He turned the whole ordeal into a launch pad for greatness. By the 1860s, he was uniting scattered clans and carving out his own kingdom, the Wassoulou Empire. This guy wasn't messing around. He trained his troops in modern tactics and equipped them with firearms from North African and European traders. He also built a cavalry that could outmaneuver his enemies. Samory wasn't just a leader. He was a military genius. By the 1870s, Samory's empire stretched across parts of modern-day Guinea, Mali, Ivory Coast, and Burkina Faso. Around this time, European powers were slicing up Africa like it was a giant cake, and the French had their eyes on West Africa. From the 1880s, Samory waged a fierce guerrilla war against the French. He knew the terrain, he had disciplined troops, and he used hit-and-run tactics that left the French frustrated and humiliated. But Samory wasn't just a warrior. He was a master strategist. When fighting wasn't enough, he turned to diplomacy. He signed treaties with the French to buy time, then used that time to reorganize his forces and strengthen his empire. He even moved his entire empire eastward to avoid capture, relocating thousands of people and rebuilding his power base along the way. By the 1890s, the French were throwing everything they had at Samory. They brought in reinforcements, built railroads to move troops faster, and tried to outgun him. But Samory wasn't giving up. He even started producing his own weapons in makeshift factories. By 1898, after years of relentless fighting, the French finally managed to corner Samory. His troops were outnumbered, supplies were running low, and his empire was crumbling under constant pressure. Samory was captured and exiled to Gabon, where he died in 1900. But let's be clear, this wasn't a defeat. Samory held off one of the most powerful colonial empires for nearly 20 years. That's a legacy of resistance and resilience. Today, Samori Touré is remembered as a symbol of African resistance against colonialism. His story isn't just about war. It's about the fight for sovereignty, the power of leadership, and the courage to stand up against oppression. His empire may be gone, but his spirit lives on in the hearts of people across Africa. Samori Touré proved that even in the face of overwhelming odds, a determined leader can inspire generations. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history. If you found Samory's story as inspiring as I did, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves untold stories of heroes. Let's keep his legacy alive. See you next time.